Mother dick.
Every time. Every time. Every time.
I was so happy. It was just like,
one of these times you're going to do it right. One of these times, I'm sure of it. And I'm here for it.
And you try, kids, and yet here we are. Greetings and welcome once again to Roman of the Empire. I am your host, Roman. This week we are reviewing Ahsoka, Episode 4, Fallen Jedi. And for me, and I think there's going to be some roundtable on this, this was easily the most watchable episode of the series thus far. And we're halfway there now. So, I mean, we got 4 more to go. So I guess we'll see what happens. I didn't hate it. But, you know, again, the bar is pretty low on this series. So let's go around the horn. We are down a person right now, but hopefully he will pop in here. Trapped in traffic, no doubt. But going around the horn, he is my partner. He is my wingman. He stopped me from carpet bombing Dagobah. I don't know if it was a good plan or not. He is Shieldwall of Dragons. Welcome back, my friend. How are you?
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Happy to be here. Yeah, this episode was the most watchable. It had some interesting things. I mean, obviously, there's stuff we're going to pick apart in it because there always is. But overall, I think the story is actually moving forward. It's coherent to a point. And the effects have been good. The sets look fine. Those kinds of things. So overall, it's a decent show to this point. At least this episode was decent. How about that?
Yeah.
Also, I'm not sure, maybe one of these days I'll just let you carpet bomb whatever. So
I hope so.
There's probably a place out there that needs it. Yeah.
Maybe Lucasfilm.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, thanks for having me. Hi to the chat, everybody there. So let's have a good conversation about this.
Right on. She will tell you if this is the way. She will also kick Sabine in her dark saber. And yet she has come back again one more time, despite her best instincts. She is the Untamed Mando. Welcome back to the show, Mando.
What's up? I have a slight headache from my stream last night. For those of you who were there for my stream, you'll know why.
Did you watch the show?
I watched the show. I also did a review on an article regarding the fact that all of the Star Wars canon has now been broken because of one line by Hu Yang we can talk about that later, but
his name is Hung Lo. Get it right.
Oh, Hung Lo. My apologies. Hu Wang. So yeah, it's gonna be great. I hope my headache will probably at least subside a little bit by the end of this. Probably not, but I have more rum waiting for me. And
there's always more rum, Mando.
There's always more rum. And let's just hope that I can not scream and yell about all of the inconsistencies with the Mandalorian culture. It's if they hate Mandos so much, just don't talk about them. Just leave them out of it. Just leave my people out of this. We didn't ask for this.
Oh my. So welcoming this new addition to our panel here on Of the Empire for the first time. In the internet war for freedom, his beard will constitute a second front. He is the Beard of Liberty. Welcome to the show, buddy.
Thank you for having me. I don't quite know how to follow up that just lament of the Mandalorians.
Wow. Excellent. That was an excellent use of the word no lament, sir.
Thank you. I stumble into sounding smart occasionally. I'm good at pretending sometimes. But no, thank you for having me. This is fun. And also pleasure to meet you, Roman, and Josh down there, everybody else I've been on streams with, and hello to the chat. And let's just dive into this turd.
Right on. Yeah. So I've seen Beard of Liberty on several associate streams. So I thought this would actually be a very good fit for us. So welcome to the panel,
boy.
sir.
You poor boy.
He is the scourge of Gotham, the nemesis of the Dark Knight. He is Joker Voice. Welcome back to the show, buddy. How are you?
Oh, I'm going to sum up this episode in one word. Member? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Member berries.
Lots. Oh, heavens. He is the meme master of the interwebs. He uses his powers for good instead of evil. He is Jacob Ironside. Welcome once again, my friend, to the panel.
Well, hello. I'm glad to be back again. Talk about this mess of a thing that we're going to talk about tonight. And coming from one warrior race to another, I feel your pain, Mando.
Yep. It'd be like if they did this to the Spartans, and I know people would be upset about that. So
now they would kick Dave Filoni in the well.
Yep.
Sometimes
there's plenty of
your
dirt and water
corn
down
is
there.
popped by oil.
Earth and
Sometimes a balloon is popped by a needle. Our good friend Josh McDonald is popped by culture. Welcome back to the show, my friend. How are you? You look a little down tonight. Are you doing okay?
It's been a shitty day. So happy to be here. Happy to be out of the chaos. Yeah, I think I might be the dissenting voice because I'm just gonna say on a film technical level, I thought this was the best episode so far.
Oh yeah, I completely agree.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
it's the best episode of the season.
Yeah,
that's general noob.
I think that's a good assessment. That's a good assessment. I mean, here's my thing. I actually enjoyed watching it. I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. It had lots of things I could pick apart, but it was still fun.
Agreed.
Yeah. But there was a lot going on, and it wasn't bad dialogue for 30 minutes with an occasional droid talking here and there. No, they didn't talk that much. They didn't have time to talk that much. They were doing stuff. It wasn't always the right thing, but they were doing things.
But when they did talk, especially in the first third of the episode, here's a helping of foreshadowing. There you go. Take that right there. Here's another one. There you go.
I didn't think to bring props.
Don't spill. There you go.
Next time, Beard, just remember there's a drawer with something in it that you could pop out for this stream.
All right.
So yeah, let's take a look at who's out there right now. My good friend John. I'm on my phone, so I can't take people, but good to see all the familiar faces. Let's organize an intervention for Roman. Thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. Who else is out here? We have Subtle Deviancy. The Jared. I don't know what that means. I don't think
Jared from good. Subway. I don't think that's
fuck that.
That's the only Jared I could think of.
Well, that's nice. No, Subtle's gonna have to. Subtle, even for you. That's
that guy ruined the name Jared for everybody.
Roman, we're gonna need you to do us a favor and say the words, "Hi there, little boy."
9. So Cajun Corey is out there. Good to see you, Bobby Wold. Wait to see if they destroy the ghost like they did the Razor Crest. Oh, well, who knows? Nobody knows. Stephen Ransom is out there. Always good to see you, Stephen. Melvin Deeply from the UK. Hello, sir. All you people already. Emperor Doomsday. Hello. And I think that's everyone. Is that everyone? Did I hit everyone?
Did you get Bobby?
Bobby World, yeah, got him.
Bobby
Yes,
World, okay.
got Bobby.
Bobby World, yeah.
Oh yeah, there it is. All right,
Yep,
my
yep,
bad.
yep.
I was too
All right.
engrossed in the whole destruction of the Razor Crest.
Oh no, you got sucked into the comment. You deliberately lost.
Yeah.
Wow, subtle. That is subtle. You are wrong, sir. You are wrong. Absolutely wrong.
Yeah. Let's not be hasty, subtle. Besides, the season isn't even over yet.
Although, admittedly, I liked this last episode better than I liked the entirety of The Fifth Element. So, I stand by it. Because
and you are wrong, sir. And you are
The
wrong,
Fifth Element is an abomination and should be purged from history. All right, so we're going to dive into this episode. Again, I didn't hate this episode. So for all of you, they're black pilled, they're blah blah blah. What we do is we look at the good and bad of things. So I'm not gonna give Filoni a back rub for doing a bad job, but on the parts he did good on, I mean, I think it's blind stinking luck. Everybody wanders into one of these things. So we start off with Hu Yang of the Hu Yang clan working on the damaged ship, trying to reestablish.
I have a question.
What would your question be, Joker?
Why is the power out?
You mean because the power was on in the previous episode when they turned the ship on to try to get comms up?
Yes. Why is the power off? So, plot convenience.
Maybe Hu Yang did something.
No, it's the script needs it's the plot to happen.
Yeah, they don't explain why.
That's it. It is.
Why isn't the master teenage prodigal engineer trying to fix this?
Yeah.
Don't know.
She would have done in Rebels.
If you're going to stick
in
with
Rebels,
that,
she would have done it.
Sabine?
Yeah, Sabine would have been like, I can get this fixed up in like 2 seconds.
Yes, I thought Sabine was like an engineering fucking master.
Or Chopper.
Yes,
Chopper's not with him. Never mind.
Genius.
She is a she's a protege. She's a genius as far as like engineers are concerned. Like she accomplished more when she was 5 than most people accomplish in all of their life of engineering.
Well, now they got.
She also made a weapon for the Empire.
She literally made a weapon that destroyed all of the Mandalorians, more or less.
Like we all haven't done that, guys. Come on, let's not throw stones.
Yeah,
she did that in the academy.
Right, she was an academy student.
But that doesn't explain why the power's off. Why the ship has no.
You actually don't get that at all. So you get a little. Do I get the arm fold? Oh, I don't. It's not fully there, but she is giving the arm.
No, it's there. You get the arm fold within the first 30 seconds of the show.
And I was worried that we weren't going to get that soon.
And she does her cool Jedi thing. I sense we may have to make a hard decision. All right. Okay. And then Sabine's like, and she asks Sabine if she can count. Can I count on you? And she's like, you can. And then back into the ship she goes.
Which is another dumb question. Why she's treating her like
she's
some kind of like unknown, and they've worked together for years. Unless she's seeing that how badly she's regressed. So maybe that might be a good question.
So Beard of Liberty, did you watch this prior to us before we asked you to be on for this thing?
Yes, I was going to watch this anyway, just so nobody online could yell at me and say I was just listening to a bunch of screaming talking heads and not forming my own opinion. So yeah.
Okay, well, for one, I'm sorry, but yeah, okay, good. Well, no, because I poor Nomi, I still feel bad about this. We asked her to be on for Secret Invasion, and she hadn't been watching it, so she watched like 6. What is it? 4
all of the episodes in one day,
and so. Yeah. So I was hoping the same thing didn't happen. Ouch. Hey, Cannoli Sasquatch, welcome, buddy. No, but you're right. What we get with the relationship between Ahsoka and Sabine is like people who don't really know each other, who hadn't worked together for a long time, then had an absence and then come back together. That's usually not the way it works. It's like she's just like Sabine is an unknown factor to her. I mean, what are your thoughts? What do you think?
Well, this is for those of you playing the home version, this scene here is that big helping of foreshadowing. The fact that Ahsoka is posing a moral dilemma of if we cannot attain the map, which is the way to find Ezra, then no one can have the map, which means Ezra will be ultimately lost forever. And then Ahsoka says, "Can I count on you to do the right thing, to sacrifice your wanting to find Ezra for the greater good of the galaxy at large?" What's up, Boosh? And so
you're not going to turn
this
against me in the end, are you? No.
Right.
You're not going to fuck me over, are you, Sabine? Are you going to fuck me over?
Well, that actually,
No, of
in
course
that
not.
context, makes the question make way more sense. In that she can sense that her whole motivation for doing anything is to get Ezra back.
Is just to get Ezra.
It's
You
just
know,
get
the whole
Ezra.
Thrawn situation and the oncoming
She
war.
don't give a crap about Thrawn or the Empire or anybody else.
This
Which
show would
she
be a lot better
should.
if everybody sounded like characters from The Simpsons.
Oh, I agree.
So here's the thing.
You're gonna do the right thing.
Sabine was there when Ezra made his sacrifice of, I'm going to make sure Thrawn cannot do any more damage. I'm going to take him as far away as I can possibly think. I'm going to sacrifice myself to make sure he does not destroy what we're trying to build. She was there. She witnessed it. He said, hey, you're never going to see me again, but I'm doing this for the greater good. And basically, if she betrays Ahsoka, which the foreshadowing tells you, yeah, everything he did means nothing.
Yeah. Now we finally get back to my favorite character in the series, which
Morgan. Morgan.
Not
Elsbeth,
Morgan.
really?
Elsbeth.
Morgan,
No.
Space Karen.
Space witch Karen.
need to see your manager.
You like that witch lady over the weekend. You're like, that witch lady, she's something, huh? And I'm like, yeah, sure, Romy.
She's
all
right.
right.
She's all right. She's not.
I don't
hate her.
mind her. She's just kind of there.
She's not an Admiral Hodo that I want to see pushed out of an airlock.
Yeah, good. That's a good point.
Yet.
So the kids come back and report to Balin, hey, they're about 12 clicks out.
That's a very
Why
specific.
didn't you blow them up yet?
But that's that's a very specific term. I mean, I have heard in Star Wars using the metric system, but to actually use the term clicks, that's I think that's the first time I've ever heard that in Star Wars.
It made me think that she was she was probably a student in the Imperial Academy or something, and I imagine it's a military term that anyone that I've known ever in the military uses the term clicks. And so my thought is she's probably some sort of former Imperial officer or she was in the Empire as a military personnel.
I don't know. She's very young.
Yeah, she's.
Although I don't know.
The Academy brought them in really young.
I got the impression that she has been Balin's Padawan for a long time. Otherwise, she would have to have been extremely like Anakin level Force sensitive in order to get this good so fast. Oh wait, she's a woman. Yeah. Never mind.
That's right. Silly.
Also, this guy next to
her is female.
Merrick or Malik or whatever his name is.
I think it's like Mark. Merrick or Mark. Yeah.
I don't understand who he is or where he fits into the hierarchy of power dynamic. Is he an apprentice or is he just some dude?
Okay, so
they try to make it out like, oh, who is this person? Who is he? Who is he? And they no, we're not going to find out who this guy is. So, because of his saber, because of his saber, you know that he is being shown to be an inquisitor. Now, the inquisitors
were fallen Jedi who were basically excommunicated from the Jedi Order. They were not Sith. They were never Sith because they were never given a master for. I know. So, but they were just an extension of a force that was under Vader's command called Vader's Fist. They were basically the scouts.
Mhm.
Sounds like a bad porn movie.
Yeah.
Vader's Fist. So when we get to a scene down the road, I'm going to throw some of the theories that I saw floating around about him. Post, he's this guy, he's that guy, because none of those obviously panned out. He's not Starkiller. He's not Ezra. He's not Waldo. He's just a fucking dude in a suit. But there are some interesting things that I saw floating around. We'll get to there. Not terribly far off. So, Mark of Reality, also welcome to the show. I can't argue. Ray Stevenson, as I've said many times, he is my favorite thing in the show. And it's funny though. Every time I hear him talk, and I don't know how many of the other panel members had seen him in Rome. He reminds me of a more mature Titus Pullo. It's
great show. Great show.
I tell you, he should have been the main bad guy.
Agreed.
Yep.
And that first scene on the ship, he should have killed that woman being a failure or something.
Well, I think he needed her because she knew the location of the map.
Yeah,
but I think once her usefulness is over,
that's in the writing.
But
I mean,
if
he
you look
could
at
have been the one that had the map.
Proceeds how Balin kind of projects himself and how he operates. That's not him. He's doing this for reasons that we're learning about, but he has a code and honor. He's not just like, you failed me, I'm going to crush your windpipe. He does things differently. I bet he would do that if it required it, but he's not just going to do it because he's Kylo Ren and he's angry that was Vader's leadership style, just choke brother out.
People are gonna be really pissed when they kill him off.
Yeah.
That will. I want to say. I hope that doesn't happen, but it's almost.
It's going to happen.
How you don't have it happen? Well, because we know where these events are heading. The unfortunate path that everything is on. Because there's no other way for it. Because that's what they've already the predestined. It's kind of we just don't know how they get there, but we know where they end up.
So I'm okay if for the story and it really is impactful if he dies. I just don't want to see him punked. Every time he gets in a fight, I'm afraid they're going to punk him. They're going to punk him and make him look like a weakling or something,
idiot.
or an idiot.
Oh,
right?
Somebody put a bomb on my back. Oh
no, my apprentice betrayed me. Oh, whatever shall I do?
Mother.
Now that I would be okay with that if it was done in a good way, like there was a plot device and
Force is female. That's all you need.
Besides the Force is female, some kind of story reason. And
Rip Ray Stevenson.
Yeah, and he has a presence on screen and everything. Yeah, I know. That's why I'm worried about too. It's his last thing he did, or one of the last things he did. I just don't want to see him get Admiral Akbar.
Yeah,
where they just
it's a trap.
He's they blow him out of the airlock and then be like, let's never mention him again.
Like they show an explosion from the outside of the ship. Oh, there he goes.
There was smoke in space.
I mean, Hu Yang's working away here trying to fix his thing. Do 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 do. I am the doctor. Right. Do do do. And then you get these shadowy figures here. And Shieldwall, you brought up some good points. And Beard, what did you think of? You got Hu Yang working on the ship, oblivious, and then you see these shadowy figures with guns coming up. Because I had a lot of things going through my head, and then we get what we get.
Yeah, because what's her face, Space Karen, said something about the droids will take care of it first. And we saw shadows earlier, but what comes up is cloaked. Yeah. So I guess they're droids that get cold.
Yeah, right. But there were actual people in masks and stuff But yeah, why didn't Ahsoka sense them coming up?
Right.
I think these were HK droids.
Yeah, I think they're
No.
supposed to be HK
No.
droids. I think
No,
they're supposed to be.
there are
No.
actual people there too.
Well,
Those are guards
There's
because
droids and
Oh.
people.
All right, I was giving them too much credit.
yeah, it's
because
a
that
mixed bag.
gun because that gun is the same type of gun that was used in Mando season 2, episode 5, the Ahsoka episode. Those
Yeah.
are
Acid
like slug throwers.
Ah.
Admiral.
See, I didn't remember that.
So showing these guns, it's a long rifle. I'm assuming, they're just going to pick them off, right?
Oh,
Or
okay.
that's the threat, and then Ahsoka's going to come out and block the shots, or he's going to turn around and be like, I knew you were there the whole time, and double blaster him or something.
Yeah.
But that's not what goes down.
We
So,
jump
Mando-
in. Go ahead.
I want to ask you this, Mando. In this scene, we see Sabine checking her guns, and she obviously puts like a clip inside the gun. Is that common for Mando guns to have a clip?
I've never seen it before this episode. I have never seen anyone put a clip in any
I've
blaster.
seen
A power cell or
clone
something.
weapons do have like a power cell they put in.
Yeah. I didn't look at it. I couldn't see it clearly. Did it look like it was a magazine with bullets in it? Or
Yes.
It was just like a little small who's it thingy.
yeah, that's what I
You
saw.
know,
Just
it looked
one of
like
those
a
little-
special-
you put it in the top, and then you
Click it in.
It
yeah,
looked
click it
like a
in. That
C
that
battery.
But I
is
didn't
that is
see that
more
as a
ammunition.
slide with a receiver. I saw it more as just like a cover.
Yeah.
That went over the top to keep the power cell dry or whatever.
It just looked odd.
yeah,
It just looked odd to me.
They did it because it looks cool, because I'm loading up. Although her
Yeah,
rummaging
I just
through this
don't get-
bag, was it a bottomless bag from D&D? It shouldn't take her as long as it did in the scene to figure out what's in there.
No,
She had a bag of holding.
because that bag is truly because we have the Dr. Droid. That's a TARDIS.
Yeah.
It's bigger
Yeah,
on the
it's gotta
inside.
I
Something
mean,
Bigger
I
on
know,
the inside.
it-
Yep.
I know my
she
mom
puts
could
she
pack
puts
up-
her armor. Oh, sorry.
I was
she
gonna say,
puts
I know
her
my mom
armor
could pack
on.
a bunch of stuff in her purse.
I mean,
She
Sorry,
puts
at
her
least-
armor on to get in the ship, before they leave Lothal, and then
Right.
she takes it off before they get into a battle.
At least she has her armor on.
I can sense Mando dying.
Oh,
Let me-
there is more coming.
Let me
There's
contribute
more
to your
coming.
death, Mando. Would a Mandalorian ever misplace something as important as the power cell to their weapon?
No. They would also not, when they know they are about to go into a battle, there is going to be some sort of fighting. They wouldn't take off their armor as soon as they jump on the ship. They would sleep in their armor.
See,
I sense terrible pain from Mando.
this is what they're doing to her character. To me, I'm watching the character get destroyed in real time. The way she's acting and the way she is holding herself and doing these things, she's what, when I was in the service, we call a piece of shit airman. that needs to get their act together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That needs some remedial training on what they need to do.
This
and
does
maybe
not
also
look
do
like
that.
someone who's 30 years old who has been in combat for most of their life.
This
Right,
looks
That
like
is
a
not the
teenager
impression
that
I'm
can't
getting
find
here.
their iPhone in their bag.
Now,
And
I don't
this
know.
is also. Oh,
I was
sorry,
going to say,
Shield, go.
I don't know if they were going to try to convey that she's got a lot of stuff on her mind, and that's why she is like absent-minded or whatever. Or
This is
I don't know.
training, like you see guys can
Muscle memory.
disassemble their rifle and put it back together blindfolded. I mean, she would be able to do this stuff in her sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Not
she is
Absolutely.
unorganized and
around for it in her
undisciplined.
bag.
That's who Sabine is.
And now
She's not good at what she does. She should be, and she's not, and that's the hard part.
Well,
and
I was just gonna say she's written and played like a teen, like young adult, early 20s, going through an identity crisis. Like she doesn't know who she is.
Yeah.
And that's how it's come across. It's like, oh, I'm a lost soul in episode 1, and then I'm gonna pick up my Mandalorian roots. In episode 2 and episode 3, she's abandoning it and grabbing, lightsabers. And it's like, no, I'm going to go back to Jedi. And then, oh, no, I'm going to go back to she doesn't seem sure of who she is. And it sounds, I didn't see the cartoons clearly. It sounds like she should be sure of who she is.
Yeah,
absolutely.
If the writers had actually thought, she's just gotten out of a major conflict that's lasted 30 years. Okay, she could have some PTSD after it. Show that. Show a reason why she's not up to par,
Mm-hmm. And instead of being angry teenager.
Yeah.
And the conversation that follows is absolutely it's a redundant conversation because it's the exact same conversation they had at the start of the episode. So if you didn't get a good helping of if you didn't get a good helping of foreshadowing at the start of the episode, here's another one. There you go.
Yep.
Eat it up. There you go. Come on. There you go. Eat it up. Good.
It is. It is. It's the same conversation, except they're inside the ship instead of outside the ship. And the lights work, so I guess the power's on. Wait. What?
Wow, subtle. God damn. That is
buddy.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
Just to be clear, they're fantastic gymnasts.
They're very good gymnasts.
I just want to say, this. I will still say, as far as the episode as a whole is concerned, it is better than the other episodes. But the part that frustrates me, and it is a big thing for me, is the fact that they. That too, but they just make her seem so useless.
Yeah.
She's supposed to be a master engineer, a combat veteran of major conflicts. She's supposed to know who she is. She's 30-something years old. She's a freaking adult who's spent. What has she done the last? She can't find anything to her gun, nor can she keep her helmet on.
Now, is it just me? But even though the show is called Ahsoka is playing sidekick in her own show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I get that vibe. I wish I wasn't, but you're right.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of like the Disney thing right now.
That's true. Every major character
look at Obi-Wan.
is a sidekick in their own show.
Wow, Zach. Look at Zach.
God damn it, Zach.
Yeah, exactly. This was exactly what I'm talking about. Even a Kentucky Colonel could have more going for him than she does right now. And that's just an honorary title.
No, she's a retard JG is what she is. She acts like an O2 who needs to get, kind of slapped back into position by her E9.
She's top on the list to get cut the next time the rollbacks come around. That's for sure.
Okay, this scene coming up here, apart from being ridiculous with them two robots beating each other.
Scene. I thought it was funny.
I would have laughed my ass off if I had
why does he have eyelids? The robot? Why does he have eyelids?
Oh, he blinks.
And why does the other robot cover his mouth and he can't talk?
Yeah,
that's a speaker.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Speaker.
Yeah, it's a speaker.
Well, here's the thing, and this is one of the things that I found irritating. Is I didn't have tons to pick in this episode. I had some to pick. This scene was one of the things though, because Sabine and Ahsoka don't get, really figure out anything's going on out here until Tin Man kills the power. He throws an arm into the fucking thing and kills the power. But that ship isn't very big. It's just not.
I mean,
these guys are slamming into the side of the ship.
Exactly.
You are going to hear the big
metal into
clang!
metal.
And
you can hear it.
And then the only time it's like
even them punching into each other, they would have heard that.
Yeah, it's also funny sound coming from outside, don't you think? Yeah, that is funny.
Which also the fact that he can hold his own against an HK droid is ridiculous. He's hundreds, or depending on the source material, thousands of years old. He's not a combat droid.
See,
But-
this is where I gave him a little bit of credence because he's trained Padawans for all this time. He had to have been able to get at least some combat experience where he could at least hold his own for a little while. Do I think the HK droid will wipe him if they fight for more than 2 minutes? Absolutely. But he can hold his own for at least 2 minutes.
Look,
But he also still lost his head.
I still think Hung Lo is sus as fuck. I'm just saying it.
What do you mean?
I still think he's up to no good.
From episode one. From that thing in episode
right.
one where he didn't pick him up. I
just feel like
all fucking around.
Yeah. That or it's poor. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. It seems like he's up to some nefarious things and trying to be coy about it.
I just keep hoping that he has like some built-in like assassin blades or blasters or something. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It just
Or a lightsaber.
Yeah, well, because he has those training lightsaber arms, right? Like Grievous that he was training with. So,
John, I have to talk to John here in a second, though. I have to speak to this point.
Okay, so, but what I'm saying is that, and then he had trained, I believe 500 years is how old he is. He's been training Padawan since, and so he has combat subroutines and all this kind of stuff. But the HK droids are terrible in this show. They don't shoot anybody hardly at all. They can't hit anything. I mean, granted, if you're fighting a Jedi, you're going to get wiped by a competent one with a lightsaber. But they should have been able to just blow his head off without him even knowing they were there.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
They could have just written it different to where there was a reason why the HK droid had to get next to him. It wanted to download his brain.
Going in quiet or stealthily, which they did up until the point where they were at the ship, then they were no longer quiet nor stealth. So John brings up the point here, and this is where the maintenance guy in me goes into crazy mode. Fixing the ship includes banging, hammering, wielding. Now, that so because he's working on the electrical system. If he's hammering and banging, something's gone really wrong. If my guys are supposed to be
wiring,
fixing, whatever transmitter on the aircraft, and there's banging going on in the hangar, I assume they're fighting with things, and that's not good. So his actual repair work itself shouldn't have been. It was quiet work.
Supposedly he's doing something with the communications, trying to get the communications out or something.
Move a wire here, move a wire there. That thing's fucked up. But yeah, there shouldn't be. He's not banging a dent out of a fucking 57 Chevy. So that's the difference.
But I can see that, to John's point, that might have been the thought process of the writers who
don't have any experience in aircraft
or anything. Yeah. So that's a valid point that he brings up. And that's just like I had certain opinions coming into this episode, and then as we discussed it, then I realized Sabine is focused on Ezra, and that is why Ahsoka is questioning her ability to do stuff, because she's so taken up by that. Where I was thinking it was more of an incompetence thing, because that's kind of what the show is showing me, but that's not what the show is trying to tell me, I think. And then to John's point, that might be. You could argue that point as to why they did what they did. But yeah.
So zombie.
Yeah, it's so the end of Rebels basically where's her freaking jetpack? But so at the end of Rebels, Ezra kind of gives Sabine like this heartfelt almost confession. It's like, I have feelings for you, but I'm trying not to say I have feelings for you because I'm a Jedi kind of thing. And she definitely has feelings for him. So like, it's her boo thing, and she wants to go after her boo thing.
Hold on. Hold on, because the entire thing of Rebels, Ezra's always trying to catch Sabine's eye, and Sabine is like, no. So it's not a romantic thing for it's not a romantic thing for Sabine. They are trying to portray it like that, but it is a very deep, but it's a very deep friendship that they have that grew over the course of Rebels. It was never a romantic.
Here's
at
how
least.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Go on. No, she'll go.
I was going to say, here's how I read that whole relationship. He was in the friend zone until he became a Jedi, and then she's like, "Oh, he's a Jedi. I want him now." So that's
That was
basically
how I
it went
always saw it.
from my perspective. I think
That was
you're
my
right,
perspective as well.
Joker, but my perspective was that.
Okay.
But I think you're right, because as you explain it and I remember it now, it makes total sense that was the nature of their relationship. But Disney is trying to portray it as a Reylo kind of thing.
Yep.
Well, of course they are.
Which is dumb because they retconned that anyway with the hologram that said you were like a sister to me. So they're trying to play out this romantic relationship where the one half that would have been more likely to have feelings just friend zoned the other half that is supposed to be emotionally invested. So they can't even keep their own shit straight.
Well, it is Disney Star Wars. Come on.
They break their own canon in the same episode that they established their canon.
Yes,
you went through all the trouble of making the hologram.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
she still has the Jedi hots, I guess. I don't know. So they get off the ship. They kill every one of these guys in like, I don't know, 30 seconds.
A few seconds. And this is where actually Sabine acts like a Mando. I
was so happy. I was so happy for this.
Okay. Because she comes out, guns going, saber darts, the whipcord. She's using all the Mando the weapons,
all the tricks.
showing her competence as a Mandalorian.
And it was really awesome for a short period of time.
Yeah, when it happened, I was like, finally.
Yes,
right.
Actually,
now I just want to see
I cheered.
Yeah.
I cheered. I was like, yes.
Okay, and
then
this
they let me
right
down.
here, and then this conversation right here. Please do me a favor. Stay together. You're better that way. Don't get separated. Here you go, folks. Here's a third helping of foreshadowing. There you go.
No.
Robot splaining.
I also took it as he sees the kind of
that's such
acrimony
a good shot right there.
It is.
This is a gorgeous shot. That is a gorgeous
when it
shot.
came up on screen
Fabulous.
after that, as they start actually, I'm going to go back just very, very briefly. What I did like when Sabine and Ahsoka left, they were running. They weren't just casually sauntering through the woods on a date. They actually were in motion, heading towards an enemy. They had purpose.
But Sabine should have activated her jetpack.
Well, she
Air
can't
support.
activate what she doesn't have, Joker. God.
Yeah.
Script,
We can't-
right.
Roman, it sounded like you said Sabine. I'm going to start calling her Sabine from now on.
Because every time we have seen Sabine Wren, she has a jetpack. Conveniently, she doesn't have it this time because the script needs the plot to happen.
Well, if you'll remember,
Well,
she didn't have it in episode 1, and then she clearly can't have it now because the plot needs to happen at the end of the episode.
Right.
Yeah.
But at the end of episode 1, or episode 2, because that was supposed to be the end of Rebels. She's wearing her jetpack at the end of Rebels.
Yep.
Well, maybe she was, maybe she wasn't. So,
did she sell it for scrap?
What do y'all think of these new little ships?
Oh, I thought this shot when it blew up on the screen after they were running through the woods, I was like, man, that looks so freaking good.
Yep.
That is.
That's Star Wars.
I was like,
that is Star Wars.
The show though is overall really, really good.
I was watching this.
Look at this
I was watching this, and this scene popped up, and I was like, "Oh, I forgot! It's a Star Wars show."
It really pulls you back out of the woods, so to speak.
Yeah, and I thought the forest looked really good too. Like it didn't look like it was on the volume or something. Right, it was a forest. It wasn't a desert planet with like nothing on it.
This poor lieutenant.
I know.
Now, I remember saying last week that the real Hera would have gotten in the ghost and taken off. So it was finally good to see Hera acting like Hera.
Right. I don't
like
her
like lines.
Hera again.
Yeah, the dialogue is terrible.
Right,
I don't like her lines. The dialogue sucks, and I don't like her the way she says why she does what she does is not the right thing. well, I'm a general. I can do what I want. Oh, no.
Yeah, and then what am I supposed
you
to
need
do?
to speak to, the actual your core motivations. I'm not going to let my friends die on this fucking planet because they said no. I'm going anyway. You don't say, well, I'm a general.
Yeah.
That's fucking stupid. And that's just my take on that.
What I would have wanted to see is from the beginning is in a uniform, not a pilot's outfit, an actual uniform. Then when they tell her no, you see her in her
this outfit,
fighter pilot outfit, and goes. That would have been much better.
Yeah, I was going to say it would have been better if she basically just like threw her insignia on the desk and said, "I'm out."
Right.
And then the way you go next with that is she's flying away in the Ghost, and she gets surrounded by X-wings, and she calls over the comm, saying, "You guys can't stop me. I don't work for y'all anymore, whatever." And then they just say, "No, we're just going to go with you," or something like that. Like showing loyalty with her troops like that. Yeah.
My biggest problem with this scene is she totally screwed this guy. He's like, well, what am I supposed to tell the council? And she's like, you'll figure it out.
You'll think of something. You're
all right. And then what I'm going to figure out is that I'm going to tell him that I don't know where you're at. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I'll just. You never send somebody into a meeting and just say figure it out like that, especially if you're going to.
You'll think of something,
and then just the look on this man's face. He's so dumbfounded.
He's like,
because he knows he's dead when he goes to that meeting. He's going to get wrecked by the leadership.
I'm so fucked.
I hated this whole exchange. Like, as far as dialogue, this is my least favorite part of the entire episode.
The dialogue was bad, but the dialogue was bad. But the fact that Hera acted like Hera, and in the sense that I'm going no matter what.
Yeah.
Yes, that I liked. They could have done it so much better, but it was just nice to be like, oh, we have Hera back at least for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, and it had that little alien guy walking.
And her son's like, I can't disobey you, Mom, but you can disobey orders whenever you want to. And then she throws that. Well, I'm a general. I can do what I fucking want.
Why is she taking her kid on some combat mission?
Yeah. Also, you're a bad fucking parent. Just so you know that. Unless she has no intention of ever coming back. Not that, and I'm not saying suicide mission. I'm saying she's leaving the fleet and she is not coming back.
Right.
Don't know, but taking your kid, generally speaking, in a very hostile mission, not looked upon fondly from the the folks who come to investigate you later on. So he's wearing, if I'm not mistaken, he's got Caleb's armor on.
His jacket, I think.
Yeah, it's got his jacket on.
Little fella. I wish he had the fucking head testicles like she has, though. It's sad. Sad, really.
I'm glad somebody explained that to me about the human dominant gene or whatever. Because I was like, what is he adopted? Like, what's going on?
No.
Yeah.
Wait, the human
not my real
dominant.
son.
This is news to me.
So apparently if a human and a they're called Twi'leks, right?
Twi'lek.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
If they mate, then the child will come out looking human because the human gene is dominant and it'll suppress the genetic, at least how they look.
There is a Clone Wars episode where there's a clone that has left the war, and he's married a Twi'lek and has half-breed children that have little, whatever they're called. I don't know what they're called.
Cher had a song called "Half Breed," if I'm not mistaken.
Half breed.
I'm glad that somebody explained that to me, and I'm like, okay, sure, that's how you want the science to work. Fine, just don't go change it later on. Unless it's something like if it's a male Twi'lek with a human female, then somehow I wouldn't understand how that would work either. But
no, don't try to. Don't look
the
too
male
deep, buddy.
genes
Don't
are
look too
dominant.
deep.
That's
and here we start with, because
it is a good looking scene, though.
Remember Carson Teva? I remember Carson Teva.
Actually, I remember. I barely remembered Carson. I remember him as the fat Asian dude who I had never seen before, who just kind of suddenly popped up in The Mandalorian.
Which now here, this makes no sense, because the last time we saw, the white bear, because the last time we saw Carson Teva, he was in space Vietnam camp.
Yeah, he was in space Vietnam. Yeah.
Hey, what was he doing there, Joker? What was he doing there?
Talking to Zeb. Who?
Mm-hmm.
Why is Zeb not here?
Right?
Exactly.
Zeb.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, Zeb was a crew member on Hera's ship on the Ghost, and he was like their muscle kind of.
Right.
Yes.
I can't remember what race he was. He used to be part of an Imperial Guard. Okay, and he was part of the Imperial Guard of it, and their planet got destroyed, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like a race without a home, and so he's so he has some combat abilities. He was kind of buffoonish in the show, but just that's how he is. Yeah. But anyway,
I hear they make good eating though. So
okay, so and
there's your man.
And the reason we had Zeb was because that was the original design that George had for the Wookiees. That was the original design.
Well, and thank God someone steered George away from that.
Gary Kurtz.
So here's Carson. He's saying, "Yeah, we'll go with you." Okay.
Yeah, and on your mark, Phoenix leader.
Is this guy a producer or something? Is that why he's in all these episodes?
I have no idea.
No, for real. I feel like he's like some kind of intern or something.
I don't remember his role, but yes, he was involved with Mandalorian, and he's apparently a huge Star Wars fan, so he just wanted a cameo, but they keep bringing him back.
I'm a huge Star Wars fan. Can I get a cameo?
I mean, it's neither here nor there. I think he's an all right character. Whatever, if he's there, I don't really care. But
he has amazing tracking abilities. If you remember, he found the secret Mandalorian camp in season 3.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He appeared first. Mandalorian season 2, episode 2. The Ice Spider
Marshal
episode.
Oh, the Ice Spider. Yeah. Fucking Ice Spiders. Not good eating, by the way. Okay, they jump to hyperspace and away they go.
Roman,
and now the giant. I was going to make a very crude joke, which I'm not going to do here.
Roman, I have a picture of those half-breed kids from that Clone Wars episode. If you want me to show it.
Yeah, go ahead and share them.
Okay.
So we can see what we're talking about, the Twi'lek and the human.
Real quick, while he's doing that, I just want to make a comment about one of my favorite aspects of Star Wars space travel is how when they come out of hyperspace, or that they just come to a dead stop. So they just come in and then immediately start firing their weapons. So like that to me is super cool. So okay, so the little kid on the right is the.
Both of them are.
Both.
Really?
They're both his kids, but they look. Yeah, obviously
mixture.
they got the freaking head things. So what? Oops, oh God. There we go. So back to the space ring. Not saying it.
You nearly did.
I did. I wanted to so much. So now this is another problem part I have with the show. For reasons I can't begin to guess, they haven't loaded the coordinates to travel to the other galaxy in yet. Right. They've been clearly fucking around for several days. Doing what? I can't begin to guess. And he's like, yeah, we should probably be going. And she's like, is that fear I hear in your voice? He's like, experience.
That I was like, yes. I was like, rub it on her face, put her face in it like a cat with crap. Not that you should ever do that,
push her,
but,
push her off the cliff and take over. You have the coordinates now.
I do think
Okay,
Josh, I think they very, very briefly mentioned that like the final engine module was just completed or something like that. But it's a throwaway line. That
you just preload the coordinates while you're waiting for the engine to get installed.
Yeah, the two systems should not be connected. The engines are the engines. They're not your fucking guidance system.
Oh, wait, but if it's like an INS system, once the power cycles, you got to input all this stuff.
I mean, you think they get past that?
And I still have a problem with using a map and technology that's thousands of years old to find a specific person who wasn't born when this location was found. How do they know that is where Thrawn is?
Yeah, how do they know which direction the space whales went?
I still say they're going to use that. I still say they're going to use that line of Thrawn is calling out through space and time as an excuse, where there was like a prophecy or something. I guarantee that's why they put that line in there.
He probably they knew this was how to use the Force because everybody can use the Force now.
There you go.
All right, so she's fingering a ball now.
I thought that they knew which galaxy Ezra went to, and there's only one way to get there. Only one. Right. You can't. There's like that multiple entry points. So. And they were like, "Hey, how do we, because they got the ring."
That shouldn't have been funny either.
But then they were like, "So how do we know how to get to here?" And someone's like, "Hey, there's an old map that the witch knows about that shows the path, the one path to it." So it's not that they don't necessarily know exactly where Thrawn went. He's somewhere in that galaxy, but in order to even get there to start looking for him, this is the only way to do it. So you need the map to show you the path to get to. So it's just taking the tunnel to from New Jersey to New York. It's the only way underwater.
It still doesn't add up because nobody knew where Ezra went. He made a blind jump into the unknown region.
Right. I think they were able to figure out what his trajectory was and somehow determine that it went to that galaxy. That's my only way that I can explain why they need this ancient map in the modern times is because
galaxies
shows them
move.
the direction of how you go, the path that you need to take to get there.
Galaxies move.
Also,
galaxies I have a galaxy behind me. Okay, I know what I'm talking about.
but also, he didn't determine where the space whales took him. He had no way of knowing because it was the space whales that actually took the ship with Ezra on it. It's an animal.
Mark.
How do you know which way an animal's gonna go?
So, as the noob without an understanding of the animated shows and stuff, could this almost be like a pyramid type thing that we have, where we don't understand how our pyramids were actually built? No man made. No man should have been able to build those structures back in the day, and there's this maybe there's an ancient understanding of the whales that got lost over time, and that's how
Well, I mean, the whales are on. If you look at this map, I mean, there are whales on the map.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
If you recall,
years ago, knew
Star Wars technology, much like Lord of the Rings, and yes, I'm doing a comparison that you can throw fruit later, is very stagnant. They have stayed the same for thousands and thousands of years. The people move on, they grow, but all this shit has been around for fucking ever. Why is that? Don't know. Doesn't it's just one of those.
Right. They've had hyperspace travel for thousands of years. So
if not
alien empires and races that have come and gone, they've gone extinct, but their technology lays buried. There's witch cults and all this other stuff that come and go. So there's a lot of meat for talented writers to come up with new stuff and be like, hey, look at this. Yeah. You just got to explain it right. All I'm saying is that I think that's why they want the map. They didn't explain it very well in the show, is that it shows the one point of entry to get to the galaxy. They know Thrawn is in that galaxy somewhere. Somehow they know this. They didn't really explain that clearly, but you need the map to know how to get into that galaxy. They build the ring so they could go get there. And apparently the ring is so big, so you can stuff Thrawn's ship in it and fly it back. Which is what's going on. Why they couldn't download the codes first, who knows? But it feeds into the
ticking clock.
Last night on Wiki Be Bad, they did.
I'm sorry, Wookie. Why is Subtle in YouTube jail? What happened?
I don't know.
Probably.
Last night on Wookie Be Bad's channel.
Oh,
he was doing like
Subtle? Oh, all right.
Subtle got in trouble. On Wiki Be Bad's stream last night, they were doing a watch party of this episode,
right?
And Beard made a good point they took some stuff from Stargate here. I think.
Right.
Beard.
The look. Yeah, as they're like, it's like they're locking in chevrons. The readout on the computer screens.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good point.
And it's almost the correct number.
And this is really just for to have the ticking clock. So,
yeah.
So
yeah, because they love a ticking clock.
But at least the droid didn't call out.
I mean, good.
I was gonna say, at least the droid didn't call out first chevron locked in, second chevron
God.
locked in.
Oh
It's
my
like,
God,
dude,
right.
I have
Thank God they
eyes.
do
You don't need to,
Gosh. So anyway, that's what he's doing here. I mean, you see the things lighting up and they're locking in the coordinates. All right. And again, why didn't this happen years earlier? Nobody knows. So Sabine and Ahsoka running through the woods, run into Shin Hati and Marek. Does it really matter?
Nah, this guy. I thought he was pivotal, and
not for about another 45 seconds. No.
Yeah, no.
So we and this is another line that I fucking hated in the episode, though. And again, it all goes back to dialogue, I suppose, where Shin Hati's like going somewhere. You fucking serious? You weird little blonde. What? Why? It was the inappropriate dialogue.
She's at her best when she does.
Okay. Now,
and I was gonna.
Well, it's.
Just one second, Joker. Just 1 second. Okay. I was going to say, too, they've already established her as a character without saying much. They should have just stuck with it.
Yes.
Like, she barely speaks.
Absolutely, dude. Going somewhere.
And that's why I have a problem with this, is because of all people to deliver a line like that, the least would be her. I mean,
she is a serious character with serious... with clearly serious motivations. That's a throw-off humor line. It's stupid.
Because what she should have done to stay consistent, drop her cloak, ignite her saber, and just stand.
Well, look, Joker, she might be a little young. Let's not do the dropping the cloak thing, okay?
Oh my!
Hey, in Star Wars Episode 1. That whole fight scene between Darth Maul and Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon, Darth Maul doesn't say a single word.
Right.
This is true.
Okay.
And he's better for it.
Mando. Okay, in this situation right here, would Sabine drop her scope?
Yes.
Why?
To make a shot that is long distance, and also so she can make sure she is accurate.
Okay.
Her scope is a wreck. So that's it. Now we just have unnecessary staring, which we get a fair amount. And then everybody lights up.
Except for Ahsoka only lights up one lightsaber.
One saber.
Is worth two.
Held backwards in the wrong hand.
Yeah. Right. Thank you. It's in the wrong hand.
It's the wrong hand, yeah.
Hey, sorry, Melvin. We're not professionals here. Sometimes we fight over the button, and it kind of clicks off.
We do. It's true. She is not impaling herself here. That's just an interesting shot.
I'll give them credit. The choreography was better than it has been, but it's still not amazing.
Not much.
Yep.
It's a low bar, like we've been saying.
And
this is
Sabine should have used a flamethrower.
And again, okay. So we have three people here with melee, the weapons. Sabine is the only one with range.
Boom, boom, boom.
Why is Sabine closing the range to get closer to a melee weapon?
The only reason a Mandalorian would do that is so they can use their flamethrower, which offsets a lot of force ability. Like the Mandalorians' whole training, like their whole culture when they train is specifically to counteract everything that a force user can do. They can use the force. Okay, well, you can't use it against fire. You might be able to slice through some stuff. My armor, you can't slice through. You use your force powers. I could tie you up with my
projectile weapons like shotguns.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah,
they
can't
make
stop
it
a
to where
shotgun
the
blast.
Force users are incapable of using the Force effectively
and two,
against them.
They have a jetpack and blasters to keep distance so they don't get hit
Yes.
with the lightsaber.
Absolutely.
Range. And
so right now,
and
Merrick is
and,
go ahead.
and the high ground. Plus, if you are in the air, you have a tactical advantage over someone on the ground.
Sucks.
Jeez. Let's focus on the puppet flipping. So right now, Merrick is doing the lightsaber fucking spin thing. Oh dear. Stab her with a yellow. It goes without saying. So he's doing the spin thing, and then Ahsoka just kind of runs up and cuts him. And that's
okay. That is a ripoff from an episode from Rebels called Twin Sons between Obi-Wan and Maul, where Maul is spinning his double-sided blade, and Obi-Wan takes him out in one stroke.
Yep.
It's very old samurai movie where
Yes.
they
Yep.
they face off
Yeah.
and then they yell and they go, and then the one guy and then you don't know who's, and then the guy puts the sword in and the other guy falls over dead. So
And then he goes into a puff of smoke.
yeah.
He was basically a swarm of gnats inside of a scare.
I thought maybe he had some like a
damn it! I thought I had
Night
the thing. I
Sister
don't have the
magic
thing. God damn me!
done on him.
I don't have. I'm sorry. I don't have my slide. Fuck.
I thought he had like Night Sister magic done on him because
That's
Maul.
yeah, and that's-
Same
that's-
thing happens
that's
to
the
Maul when he
story.
gets injured.
Mm-hmm.
That's
But now
held together with bad man.
But now we have seen a lightsaber slice through armor, slice through a tree, slice through some stone. The previous episode cut through the wing of a starfighter. Sabine's still walking.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very strong.
That plot armor is the greatest, the best scar ever.
So her helmet falls off. The helmet
Yeah.
comes
Go.
off.
Go, Mando, go.
We have
Mando, go.
seen Mandalorian after Mandalorian, not even just in the Mandalorian TV show, in Clone Wars, in Rebels, in the when we see Jango Fett, Boba Fett, we see them get smashed against walls with force powers. We see them get hit against trees, rocks. We see them get hit against anything. Their helmet has never, not once, fallen off unless it was chopped off with a lightsaber. You are not supposed to be able to get the helmet off of this person just by knocking them up against a tree.
For context to who didn't understand what happened in this scene is Shin Hati forced through her into a tree and her helmet popped off.
Which I'm just going to say the best example of a Jedi versus Mando fight. Attack of the Clones, Obi-Wan versus Jango Fett.
Yep.
Perfect. Yes, absolutely.
Two highly trained people going at it.
Yep.
She does look pretty hot in this scene, though.
And again, that eyeliner is on point.
Absolutely.
Solid.
Yeah.
So Ahsoka cracks open the can that is Marek. His gas escapes, which I imagine does not smell good to anyone. And Sabine says, "Go get the map." It's, which basically just gave away their entire plan. Just in case Shin Hati didn't know, she now knows exactly where Ahsoka is going. Okay, cool. And we get some just kind of again back and forth the things are uploading. That
little slide with Shin and Sabine. Did anyone think to themselves, "My Schwartz is bigger than yours"?
No, I will tell you what I did seriously think about this scene, though. I was a little annoyed that Sabine was suddenly as good as she is with a lightsaber compared to the first episode.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, given her 2 days of training that she's had since their last encounter.
Exactly.
Yeah, which is why they should have went the
Yeah.
Mando route. And if she was going to beat her or somehow incapacitate her, it should have been actually the way it plays out is what I was about to say. But anyway, she basically beats her with her Mando training.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Okay, so Ahsoka shows up to the to get the map.
She just walks right up to where the map is.
Well, yeah, you don't need to use any any stealth or secrecy. You always walk right up to your enemy when you're trying to do something sneaky.
And
That's
you
good
always
strategy.
and
Solid
if you're-
tactics.
And if you're waiting for your enemy, you sit down with your back toward them.
Yes,
That's because Balin is a badass, and
he's not fucking worried.
Yeah, he's not. He knows what's up.
Yeah.
And so also, I don't think Ahsoka would be the kind of person that would try to stab him in the back. It's got to be more of a
honor,
because
you know what would have
exactly.
been funnier?
And Balin actually respects Ahsoka. He knows.
I wish
who she
Balin
is.
had been eating like a hot dog or something while I was waiting for her.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was eating my rations.
A jelly donut.
This makes me, but the very start of this dialogue, it makes me so mad. Anakin spoke very highly of you.
That's funny.
And then
he never mentioned.
He said, never mentioned you. And then he says, everyone in the Order knew Anakin. Few survived what he became. How the fuck do you know that Anakin is Darth Vader? This is the problem with Disney Star Wars, because somehow now everyone knows that Anakin is Darth Vader when it was clearly established in the OT. Obi-Wan, Yoda knew. Luke was told, and then on the side of the Empire, it was Palpatine and Tarkin. Ahsoka figured it out, and then Thrawn figured it out. So 6 or 7 people tops.
I guess
in all of the galaxy.
After Reva,
I guess so.
Because Reva knew too, right?
Yeah, supposedly.
In this show,
Oh,
so
yeah,
she must have just broadcasted
because
to the
she
universe.
I mean,
saw
that sounds
stab
like
her with a lightsaber, and she survived it
twice.
Maybe someone got like CC'd on an email by accident.
Maybe.
Admiral Teague, we do not
Darth
bring up
Vader.
Luke Skywalker in any of
I
these
said that to the
episodes. He
wrong
does not
person.
exist. Nobody knows who he is. He is not famous. He's not a
Yeah.
hero of the Empire. He didn't get a
So,
medal. He's
yeah,
right up there with Wookiees. No
Admiral Teague brings up like this is clearly the most important mission that has come up in, let's say, fucking since the end of the war.
Since the end of since the Battle of Endor, yes.
Yep.
You're not going to bring in the one fucking Jedi Master you know is still out there for sure.
You
and
can't.
she has
You have to keep
had a
portraying-
conversation with Luke previously to this. You would not think that she would say, let's send a message out to Luke Skywalker, who was sitting on a rock doing nothing because the only Padawan he had left.
Where's Han? Where's Leia? You know, the people who are actually in charge of things.
They're
are they
all
in
inept in Disney Star Wars.
They would
They're
have
all
had
useless.
a fleet above this planet in no time.
Right.
But the New Republic is incompetent.
Okay, so they've established the New Republic is incompetent. They just let former Imperials run around, do whatever they want, and no one's at the wheel, which is what's Leia doing. Anyway, never mind.
Yeah.
The point is that they're incompetent and they're trash. And so we go into the conversation of what Balin is trying to do, and the reason he's doing these things. He makes a statement. And he says, you can't build until you destroy, right? Sometimes when you build, you must destroy first to build it back. And he doesn't really ever say what he's talking about. Could he be talking about the Jedi Order? Could he be? I think he's talking about the Republic and the future of the galaxy. Right. And he sees Thrawn
Yeah.
as a means to get to this point, which is why he's doing what he's doing. Now, the witch lady thinks that she's his underling lackey when I think he has other designs. She just doesn't know about them. Or he might have even been open about it. She just don't care or didn't understand. But he's got
I think you're right. I think he
plan.
is working just below the radar, doing what she thinks he should be doing for her, when in fact he is doing it as he's using her as the means to the end. I think you're 100% right on that.
Yeah.
Agreed. That's how I took it as well.
Admiral T, to answer your question.
I think.
Say,
Go ahead, Joker.
I just want to say this. The Balin Skull's look right there is fabulous. That just looks badass.
Yeah.
No, and every time
two
Ray
things.
Stevenson delivers a line, it is purposeful.
Yeah.
And even, he doesn't speak very much. He speaks very little. But every time he says it, it really hits. Like right before they go into this, he basically says this was inevitable.
Actually, that's a good comment.
Ahsoka ignites her lightsaber, and then he's like, "Oh, this was inevitable." Then he ignites his. But two things: his performance here to the end of this episode was fantastic.
Yeah,
the only thing that broke it for me is when he pulled his lightsaber off. You could tell it was plastic.
Oh yeah.
It kind of jolted. It kind of took me out for a minute.
And I love his style. I love his fighting style. And that's like a Louisville Slugger. He is swinging for the fences. It is all power.
Heel versus Babyface pointed it out that they're using samurai and European sword techniques here, which I thought was cool. I thought it was a neat touch.
Oh, actual techniques, yeah.
So,
no, it's not prequel fighting, but it does still look good to me. This scene better than
I still have a major problem because Ahsoka is basically copying Balin's style, a power style. That is not Ahsoka. Ahsoka is athletic. Ahsoka is athletic, quick, strike, guard, strike, guard.
Yeah, she's more of a Form 4.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I think what they were trying to do here, and I think it's member berries again, and they did it very poorly, is she goes through different fighting styles. She starts out the Obi-Wan, the classic, just like, old style Obi-Wan and Luke. And then at one point she does the Anakin thing that you see in Revenge of the Sith. Yeah, exactly. Joker, over the head.
Yeah, 5.
Oh, yeah.
So they're trying, I guess, to show that she's trying to adapt to his fighting style, but she never relies on her own strength the entire time.
It's just speed.
Exactly.
Athletic.
Oh, this was stupid.
And she is experienced.
Okay. And she has the Force. Just pull it.
Yep.
Yeah, she's not an inexperienced Padawan. She has her legs. She is a Jedi, despite the actual formal title. She's had enough experience, and the fall of Mandalore, or the siege of Mandalore, and then at the end with facing Maul. Those were heavy fucking episodes. She is a fighter, and she knows, and she has her style. She knows what she's doing. In this, you're right. She's trying to match punch for punch against the brawler, and that doesn't make any sense.
No.
And
now we're back to the kids in the woods.
This part was stupid.
This part was. I thought this part was funny.
No, but listen. She should already know that Sabine has no force power.
Has no power, right?
She should sense it. You have none of it. But she's like,
she's doing the fucking thing.
You don't have any power.
Okay, what should she have done at this point, Jacob? What should she have done at this point?
I'm picking up what you're putting down, John. Okay, maybe that might explain it. She was keeping her hand free to swipe them out.
Oh, why is she not using 2 lightsabers?
Right.
Well, she didn't need. She needed the other hand earlier, like when she was running towards the map, like. Maybe I guess she just didn't feel the need because he wasn't a strong enough adversary to bring out the secondary lightsaber or something.
How'd that work out? So right now, this is another. So earlier in this episode, we talked about why did Hu Yang not get shot in the head by the sniper, either the HK droids or the humans with them. Why did that not happen? This is not a dissimilar scene to me. Once she realizes, no shit, that Sabine doesn't have power, why didn't she just do fucking force choke her ass?
Okay, so this goes, and just going back to what Jacob said, Shin already knows this. And the part that screws it up is she turns her head.
She flexes
to flinch.
Or flinches.
Yeah.
Right. So
she's
the once Sabine does once Sabine does this, she should not move and just say, "You have no power." That's a much different delivery and a much more intimidating.
No, yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
But then she should have choked her ass.
Well, here's the thing, though. Like, she being a Mandalorian, like, even if she didn't have force powers, she has, like, there are certain things within. There are weapons that she can use out of her glove, her
and she does
saber darts,
and she does shoot her fucking some little sparkly thing at her. I mean, I don't know what it is.
I'll give it credit. That was clever. I like that.
Yeah, because she's got her hand out like she's doing the force, but she knows she doesn't have the fucking force. But it does throw the other lady off guard.
Flamethrower would have been
a flamethrower would have been far more effective. Fuck! Now I'm on fucking fire. Fuck! But they didn't do that. They did sparkles.
And why are we sparking? And in a previous scene, there was smoke coming off of the blades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will ignore the sparks and I will say this is lit beautifully.
Yeah, the lighting. I don't know if you think they enhanced it. I mean, obviously this was done in post.
Look at Balin's face, man.
Yeah.
That's good. I enjoy, and again, I know there are flaws, but I still enjoyed this fight scene a great deal.
Okay. I didn't,
and I also like seeing
there was one action. There's one major part where Ahsoka, because I guess because it visually looks cool, where Ahsoka sticks her leg out to press against a rock. That's the worst thing you can do because now you're only on one leg. All Balin has to do is just sweep the leg, and she's dead.
Sweep the leg, Johnny. Sweep the leg.
Sweep it with a fucking lightsaber, and she's on fucking one leg. I mean,
yep.
And hold on. Okay, here we go.
Indiana Jones.
There you go.
Indiana Jones. Okay. Yep. I thought the exact same thing.
I grabbed this screenshot the night I watched this, and then went and grabbed a screenshot from Indiana Jones and made they're the same picture meme. I just had to do it.
Yeah.
Frame for frame.
Except she's so badass, she doesn't scream. She just kind of winces.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. There you go. Yeah.
Still fucking burning. Fuck! I dropped it.
Because you have to make sure that the marks are seared into your flesh, in case they get away.
So to comment on John's comment here, no, not all Mando weapons are made of Beskar. That is a myth. Their armor for sure is Beskar, and the little, I forget what they're called, the little flying, the world,
the swallows, or
yeah. That yes. Yes, the whistling birds. Those, yes, are specifically specifically Beskar, but like the whip that you see them use to tie up their legs, that's not Beskar. It's easily broken. Lightsabers have broken it before. Flamethrowers are not. Yes, whistling birds. Thank you. Flamethrower, like you don't need that to be Beskar to have a flamethrower. There are other things in their arsenal that are not Beskar.
I have a question right now. Why does Shin Hati look suddenly really pulled together like Debbie Harry right now instead of some weird, creepy emo girl who came out of Europe?
Because because she ran by the makeup tent on the way.
Fair enough. Accepted. All right.
It's
like she just walked in on her parents right here.
Wow! Flip that!
Mom and Dad are wrestling again.
I thought I heard screaming.
Yep. Mommy, no.
That was great.
I heard grunts and screaming.
Sorry.
What's going on?
Oh, I apologize.
Go back to bed, sweetie.
Good Melvin.
Nothing to
Everything's
see here.
Get
Look,
the map. Stop
She got
looking
her
at us and get
lightsaber
the
she
map.
dropped, but Sabine didn't get her helmet.
Okay, so no, Mando.
Mm-hmm.
Is it part of the Mandalorian code when you're on the field of battle, you never leave your armor behind, any piece of it?
Correct.
Okay,
You
so
never leave a item of your armor behind because your armor is part of your life. It is what protects you. It is your second skin. If anyone is familiar with the Halo series, the Spartans, their armor is like a second skin. The same applies to the Mandalorians when it comes to their Beskar armor. It is like a second skin. They feel comfortable in it. It's supposed to basically be like they don't need to take it off unless, they take off their helmet to eat and drink their food and whatnot. Like on the field of battle, you don't leave it behind because it is the most important part of your arsenal. It is what protects you.
So Sabine leaving her helmet behind, and what eventually happens in a few moments here, would you say that that's symbolic of her eventually just betraying Mandalorians?
Absolutely. I
And-
don't consider, because of a few things, but that in particular, that is symbolic that she is leaving her Mandalorian culture behind. She is choosing to no longer associate with the Mandalorian code because
Maybe
that
she
is
got
one of
busy.
the... What?
Nothing.
What did I miss? Sorry.
Maybe she just got busy. She was occupied. She had other shit going on. She just didn't have time to go pick up her helmet. I know.
Well,
It's
I mean-
important you make the time. I understand.
Well, I mean, if she gets hit in the head, like, whoops.
Right.
I like this scene. Ahsoka's in the middle of a battle, yet she still finds the time to force throw Shin Hati into a big fucking rock. I thought that was nice. It was a good use of her power. Uh-oh.
But
Into
that
the
drops
fucking
her
rock.
guard. Right.
Yep.
But then
And then and Balin takes advantage of it. I mean, he's not letting a
love
moment
his
go by.
strikes.
He's fucking up.
I love his strikes, though. I love his strikes. He is just wailing away. And then,
Also, to answer a question earlier,
And I like
Mandalorian
this
armor
right
was
here.
passed down
He
from
delivers the line.
parent to child.
It didn't
But-
have to come to this.
but second saber, whap, done.
You mean she
Mhm.
has a second lightsaber, Joker?
Yes.
What?
I thought she only had one based on everything
No.
I've seen in this episode.
Burned hand or
No.
no, in that situation, you grab it.
Yes.
You're about to get pushed off a cliff.
But why?
But she is defending one-handed, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, so
But
it's
she doesn't-
probably
Against a much larger, more
yeah. But I mean, her other
imposing
hand
presence.
she's using her non-burn hand to do it. So I buy it.
Did you do a push?
Yeah, but could she not use the Force to get her lightsaber to?
Yep.
But she does right here.
Yeah,
She's
we've
force
we've
pushing.
seen that before.
No, I meant her
Mhm.
second lightsaber. Like if her
Yeah, no,
hand
that-
is
yeah.
burned.
Yes.
I don't think the Force
can
cares
use
if
the
your hand is
Force.
burned. You can still use it.
In
Yes.
previous
No,
two
that's my
episodes-
point. That's my point.
Yeah,
Like,
totally,
she's-
dude.
Yeah.
Admiral Teague, in the previous two episodes, they show her wielding both of them. Her second
Right.
one's a
Mhm.
little shorter than the first one.
They show her. They show her in the beginning of this episode using both of them.
Guys, what happened is when she did her cartwheel on the spaceship in space, one floated off. It's gone.
Oh,
Go back and watch the episode. It's there, I promise. Hey Disney,
But
you can just
she
add that in.
she
after the
never
fact.
learned to hold on to her lightsabers.
So yeah,
Always
I think
losing
here
them.
she is trying to like use the Force to help defend, but he's overpowering her. Like her
Sabine,
other hand.
yeah.
or
I
something.
get it.
Destroy it.
My point is, don't use the Force for defense. You have a whole second lightsaber. Use your Force to get your second lightsaber for its like an attack.
Right.
Mhm.
Yes.
Like he's
Yes,
defenseless
Sabine.
at that point.
Yeah.
So
Now,
Sabine.
if
Here
Yes,
we come.
destroy it. I said destroy it, not your hands too.
Yeah.
right,
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm just gonna
That's a little. That's
set this to
that's-
shotgun mode so I make sure it blows everything off.
Now,
Yep.
right now, Sabine is using the map as leverage, which, to her credit, makes sense at this point.
Yep.
In a moment, get the fuck off the cliff, zip zap off the cliff. It no longer makes sense. She no longer has the map as leverage. Now the map is a liability, and that's all it is.
Mhm.
unless
This was great.
She would have
This whole
destroyed it,
dialogue from.
but you're
from
not
Ray
like
here.
her, are you? No,
Well,
you are not.
He still needs the map because the code isn't done yet.
Yep.
They got to put it back in the
Right.
receptacle.
I
which
think those last chevrons.
Yeah.
hold on. I have a problem with that. Clearly, you needed Dark Force magic to activate that entire map thing.
Yeah.
You removed the map from the little thing, so the whole map went away. So now, without using the Dark Force magic, you can just was Dark Force magic set to pause or something? You just kind
I
of-
believe so. I
The
believe
plot,
so.
the plot
Probably.
had to move forward, Joker.
Oh, that's right. Script needs the plot to happen.
Script needs to
That's
plot
right.
to move forward. So now Balin is reading her, and he's like, "Oh,
Which is
Ezra-
weird because Jedis can't read minds; they can read feelings.
Mhm.
yeah," because he reads very specific things.
Yes.
Mhm.
You know, as
Yeah.
Ezra Bridger was the last of your family. You can, we will
Which
find him.
this made me upset. Like the last of her family. What the hell do you mean? Hera, Ahsoka, Chopper,
Jason.
like Jason, like who? Where are they not family? Do you not
Her,
consider
her
the
Mandalorian family's dead?
people-
Are they not still
Yeah,
alive?
they all died on
Her,
Mandalore.
Oh, they
her
did,
parents
okay.
are still alive.
Joker, there is
Yes.
still a little green flame glowing in that thing.
Oh,
The
pilot light is still on. It's okay.
I'm just saying,
Oh, the
someone
pilot
did
light's on
not shut
still?
the gas off.
Yeah.
Yeah, they left the gas on, so
Oh,
it's still burning.
Oh, the pilot light's on still. Oh, okay. I had to zoom in on
And
that.
Jeb?
Okay.
Like I miss Jeb, my bad. But like the last of her family.
So
If
he
Hera was
convinces
there,
her.
Hera would have destroyed the map.
No, she doesn't.
No second thought.
None of these things matter to her. The only thing that matters to her is finding.
Her boo thing is her boo thing, who
Mhm.
was never who was is
No.
a complete retcon from Rebels.
Yep.
Yeah, apparently either their brotherly sisterly bond is really strong.
Luke and Leia. That's fine.
Yeah.
But ding, 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 ding. It's all relative.
I can't help but think that if she actually was a Mandalorian, which in this show she's not, they would respect somebody who sacrificed everything and not cheapen their sacrifice
Yeah.
and risk damaging things and hurting other people just to get somebody they care about back.
Absolutely.
They have honor.
That person died honorably. I will not lessen their death by trying to do away with their sacrifice. That is
And yet she
not
does.
what a Mandalorian would do.
I think 90% of the people in the Disney writing room don't understand what that concept even is.
Nope.
Wait.
No.
So wait. I think Josh said it best. The worst thing to hear in a writer's room is, "Hey, wouldn't this be neat?"
Yeah.
You didn't get the voice right though, because it's all those
Oh, wait,
20-something
was it-
females
how
or
was it?
mentally challenged
Hey.
people that think they're females. So they're either like,
so
"Oh my god, wouldn't this be neat?" Or they're like, Oh my God, Cecilia, wouldn't this be neat?
Okay, gotcha. Okay, what's up, Jay?
So he convinces her, you'll see Ezra again. You will not be harmed. He gives her his word that she will not be harmed. Now, I actually would trust Balin at his word. I don't think she should, because he's not giving her a lot of reason to. He just threw her master off a cliff.
Yeah, although this episode did make me see him he's obviously not a Sith, but I don't even really see him as a dark Jedi anymore, more like a black-pilled fallen Jedi. Like he's just disappointed with the world and wants to reset things. Sitting here watching this show makes him very relatable.
He's following the code. He hates the way the world is. The galaxy is now under current management.
Right.
Well,
he's relatable. You're right.
We'll see that. Well, then that just turns him into a sympathetic edgelord. Then.
Yeah.
But to be quite honest, most of the people
Edgelords?
I was talking about like most of the Jedi who left the Jedi Order. Most of them become like Ahsoka or like Balin. Some of them are a little bit more dark side prone than others. Dooku, absolutely. They were just disillusioned with the Jedi Order, and they knew they weren't Sith, but they weren't afraid to use some dark side things.
Yeah.
And so now we're back on. Clever droid's like, "Well, Balin restored the thing. We're fucking fine now." And she's like, "Oh, send this shuttle for Lord Balin."
We're gonna have to wait till next episode, Jay, Desolate Souls, to figure that out. Because
nobody knows.
Anybody knows. If you didn't watch the animated series, you have no clue what's going on.
Yeah. No, it's just what the fuck is going on?
And okay, how is this communication working? Because they clearly established in the previous episode, once they entered this system, once they came out of hyperspace, their comms are jammed.
Maybe they had to drop the blocker so they could get the comm link with the witchy thing on the planet.
That's what I was thinking, and they could have solved it by just one line. Make it a real quick.
There are so many things in this show, Beard of Liberty, that one line would fix.
Yeah.
But they just don't have the time to fit it in because the episodes are so short. And there's so few episodes that you're compressing the story down to where you're cutting on the razor's edge of it making any kind of sense.
If only they sped up that dialogue just a little bit.
Yeah.
And here,
but wait, wasn't the jammers just specifically on? Weren't the jammers just specifically on Ahsoka and them? Because Shin Hati was able to talk, but Shin Hati and them and their ships were talking to each other.
That's a good point.
Don't apply an overall logic to a very specific situation. That's not how technology works.
Damn it, Josh! You just ruined the episode for me.
Right?
I mean,
everything was perfect until that.
Yeah.
And so here we go. Jangling keys when it says lock ass foils in attack position. I remember that. I remember that line.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So now they got.
She's also taken captive. Here's another thing: if a Mandalorian, they would rather die than be taken captive. Like they wouldn't go willingly.
Also, Shin Hati was force choking her out, and Balin's like, "Knock that shit off." I gave her my word. So he is. Like I said, he has a code.
Right, exactly. He has whatever his motivations are. They're slowly doling them out every episode. It's like letting you know like what's going on, what his thought process is, and who he is as a character.
And now we're
does anybody think he looks like Sean Connery right there?
A little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Oh, it's the beard.
At this point, Balin's essentially just an anti-hero. I mean, for being serious.
Yeah. And it's sad because this is the.
I was going to say everyone's rooting for the bad guys.
I'm rooting for the bad guys. Totally. one of the sad things is this is the first exposure a lot of people have gotten to who Ray Stevenson is. They don't know who he is aside from this role. If you've never seen him, if you're seeing this and you've never seen Ray Stevenson before, go back and watch the HBO series Rome. I promise you won't be disappointed. It's one of my favorite series.
Watch RRR.
Only 2 seasons.
You don't want people to go back and watch that really terrible Punisher movie he did?
I didn't mind it.
What?
Some people didn't mind it. I didn't think it was awesome. Rome for me is his definitive.
Yeah, it was a joke.
He's been great in a lot of things, but
he was fine as Punisher, but that movie was terrible.
Right. There hasn't been a good Punisher movie, but that's
okay. Movie fair.
That's a story for another day.
Yeah, movie.
So they're getting ready to the fighters have come through and they're in their way, and Base Karen is like, ignore them, and they're firing up the
fire up the lithium.
Wait for it. Here it comes, and hold on, maneuver.
And did I skip over everything getting blown apart? I kind of did.
You did.
Sorry.
What?
I know. Sometimes I'm not good at my job. To be fair, I was really drunk when I put the slides together, so that's why there's something. So I apologize for that.
So as the ring jumps, there is this hyperspace like wave of energy, which is not how hyperspace works, but it waves into the fighters, and 3 red shirts get killed. The female X-Wing pilot lives, becomes Force's female. The Rodian and 2 random males die. Carson Teva survives because he packed his plot armor, and the ghost survives. And then Jason says, "Mom, I got a really bad feeling."
Yeah, not about this. Just I got a really bad feeling. Like he ate some bad fucking fish.
He's force sensitive, everybody. He's force sensitive.
Yep.
He'd be a lot more believable if he had the fucking head.
Well,
tentacle.
it makes sense because his father was a Jedi.
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah.
It's been to Melvin, Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's fucked up. It's funny, but it's fucked up.
Yeah.
So now we're back on Planet X, and where did
Ahsoka land though? Because there was only water and rocks.
Well, to back up just a quick second, you're talking about the Holdo maneuver and the wave thing. In a way, I chalked that up to the fact that it was making a intergalactic jump, that maybe that was why that effect happened. And that's not like a normal thing that happens with hyperspace. I mean, I was willing to let that go because of the unique circumstance in which they were doing it.
It's a unique circumstance, but they still are using Super Star Destroyer hyperdrive engines.
Yeah,
that's what they established.
It's
the same
but they're using like 6 of them all packed together.
Oh, like we haven't done that before.
I'm with you, Joker. I'm just trying to say, I guess
you're starting to sound. You're starting to sound like a Filoni apologist. Knock it off.
Where the fuck am I? Why am I on the floor? Where are my pants? We've all been there.
Where is this?
So he wakes up in the world between.
So Josh, do you know what the world between worlds is?
Ever made from Disney.
No. So So this.
Go ahead.
Notnobody outside of Rebels knows what the hell this is at all.
It is the biggest plot device to keep Ahsoka alive. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's the only reason she's alive. She should have died earlier in Rebels, but they were like, "Oh, but we don't want Ahsoka to die." Okay, loophole. Bring her back from the dead using an interdimensional time vortex timey-wimey thingamawabber.
Okay, this is a nexus point of time and space in the Star Wars world, and this is where you can intersect.
Joker. How does Ahsoka get there?
That's the big question, and I have no idea why. It makes no sense.
I have an idea. I have a theory.
There is a theory out there that a certain force user who is powerful enough could do it, but it's going to be a stretch, and because what we are shown makes no sense.
Agreed.
Here's my theory. She died, but because she technically should already be dead, she was brought back here. Does it make sense? No.
Let me counter that, because that would require the Morai to bring her back. We have yet to see Morai in this series.
That's all right, folks. I don't know what's going on.
What's a Morai?
Do you think that
I was going to make it more
Morai?
but
Okay.
like the angel
Morai.
Morai like came down, right, and he had his little steel plates, right?
Okay, the Morai is the Morai is that owl that follows Ahsoka around, which is
it's the personification of the light side of the Force.
It is the avatar of the daughter. Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So in Rebels,
in the Morlocks eat the Morai.
No.
Yeah. So it's actually Clone Wars. In Clone Wars, there was an episode where Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Ahsoka go to this weird island, and there's three people.
Oh, that episode is terrible.
Yeah, and so there was the son who embodies the dark side of the Force, the daughter who embodies the light side of the Force, and the old man who embodies the balance between the Force. They had their memories wiped of this, so they wouldn't remember them going to this particular island. But this was the big foreshadowing for Anakin that he was going to become Vader. But and basically, Ahsoka is like the chosen avatar of the daughter of the light side of the Force.
No, because Ahsoka, during those 3 episodes, Ahsoka dies, and the daughter sacrifices herself through Anakin to bring her back to life.
So that was actually the first time she died.
Correct.
She died again in Rebels. So this would make 3.
Wow.
If she did
That's
die.
a lot of dying.
Yep.
So here she is. And like
Ahsoka
I said,
should not be alive.
And for many viewers, they have no fucking idea what's happening.
Right.
Looking around. Oh, so she hears.
I think they stole this place from Wheel of Time.
Oh, golly gee, don't say those words around here, Jacob Ironside.
No, that's Wheel of Prime. Wheel of Prime is bad.
So she hears "Hey Snips," and if you remember, like the early
fuck off.
This
okay.
Which I always found annoying, but
no, this is something, and this made me both numb and angry at the same time, because throughout the Clone Wars, I loved the relationship between Anakin and Ahsoka. Absolutely loved it. It is the best part. It is one of the only really healthy relationships within Star Wars. The way they grew up together, and they are no longer just master and student. They are ride or die. They are like surrogate father, surrogate daughter, and the love they have for each other. And in the last season of the Clone Wars, before Ahsoka goes off to Mandalore and before Anakin goes off to Coruscant, they exchange a look and they smile at each other, and that is the last time that they see each other as Anakin and Ahsoka. The very last time. In Mando season 2, episode 5, when Ahsoka is talking about Anakin, and I'm getting emotional just thinking about this. This is the moment that I needed to see that reunion of best friend and best friend, and to be on that level. And when this happened, I felt nothing. And it makes me so angry, because just anticipating the moment took me back to that 6-year-old kid in 1977 in Omaha, Nebraska, May 25th, when I saw Star Wars for the very first time. And you've killed that now. That childlike wonder and love of this world has been killed. So fuck you, Dave Filoni. Fuck you, Kathleen Kennedy. And fuck you, Disney. You have killed a childlike love of something that was beautiful.
Wow. Accepted.
Yeah.
They've done because I did a stream with Admiral T the other day, and I called it. Basically, I said they've taken the hammers to these pillars of science fiction and not just cracked them; they have crumbled them.
They have made them into dust.
And it is really sad to see what they have done. And the Clone Wars was one of the few shining pieces in the modern era. Now, Clone Wars, most of it was post Disney. That last season though was still under the Disney umbrella. But it was still really good. Like I said, there's not a lot to cheer about in that era, but that was one of those things that was still very good. And
it was Star Wars.
Right. It was Star Wars. This series, well, this is still the best of the episodes.
I'll be right back.
It lacks that emotional connection. It does. I think Joker made a incredible point with that. The childlike innocence, the joy that this thing brought us. But it is where we are now.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why, to me, I've never really considered Disney Star Wars actual Star Wars. There are moments that it has that, we see a little bit of Star Wars there. The moment, I'm one of the, I think, few people who, when Disney said the EU is no longer canon, that was the moment that I checked out. My heart was broken. And I was like, no, I know what they're going to do. They're going to Frankenstein. They're going to take and pick what they want to try and do. And they're going to just basically just make up and say it was them when they stole the ideas from the EU, which is what they have done. I will admit, like Ahsoka, brand new character, wasn't in the EU. I really enjoyed her. And
agreed.
And then they do this. Before Disney purchased Star Wars, I was a huge fan of the Mandalorian culture. Jango Fett was supposed to be Mandalore. His clone Boba Fett, Boba Fett has an opportunity to become Mandalore, and this was one of the big story arcs, that I was hoping they were going to try and do for Mando. We've got Boba Fett, we've got Bo-Katan, and we've got Din Djarin. They all three have valid claims to the throne of Mandalore. And they didn't do nothing with that. It's stuff like that where they easily could make Star Wars that everyone can agree on. Everyone can agree that this is a good thing or this is a Star Wars thing. And they just go and they make up their own crap and say it's Star Wars when it's not. And this is one of those things.
I can separate old Star Trek from new Star Trek. I can separate that in my mind. I can do it. Star Wars, they've gone into the fiber of it and ripped it apart. I mean, they took the actors that played the original characters and destroyed those characters. I mean, they've completely destroyed the original Star Wars.
With all the flaws that Disney has come up with, Mandalorian seasons 1 and 2 were, just lucky because everything they've done since then have been unlucky. Well, it's been different interference from the studio. That's where it really comes in. But Ahsoka had a real chance as a character this could have been something very good. This could have been, the magic they had in Mandalorian. They could have brought that forward in this. They know they had their wild missteps with Boba Fett, Kenobi, good God, and Mandalorian season 3. This was their chance to get things back on track. again, like I said, this episode, I didn't hate this episode, and though we picked a lot of it apart. I mean, that's because it's easy to do, but it was still overall as a viewing experience. I still had a lot of fun with it. But where is it going? I mean, because it's funny because the things that we point out as being the flaws within these episodes, there's and Beard of Liberty, we talked. These are things that are like super easy to fix. It's literally you turn the knob that much and the problem is resolved. But they won't do it.
I don't even know if it's not that they necessarily won't, it's that they can't. They don't have the love for old Star Wars that fans like us have.
They're
just
doing
don't care.
what Disney has always done, taking another franchise and turned it to what they want.
Yep.
Suck the life out of it, leaving a dead husk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what this creature is, but it's only wearing a Star Wars skin, and it's that even of itself is tearing apart.
And Gary said it right. Well, Gary said it right. There is Star Wars and there is Disney Star Wars.
Yeah,
and
agreed.
anyone who is anyone, and I said this, and I made a friend very I made a friend very upset with me that I said that they claim to be a Star Wars fan, and I said the more you keep hyping this, the more you keep going gaga over stuff like this, you are no longer a Star Wars fan. You are a Disney Star Wars fan. You are a Kathleen Kennedy Star Wars fan, and you're part of the problem.
I don't think we'll ever have what we had. I don't think it's possible, certainly within our lifetime, mine being the next 4 years, for this to come back. I just don't. I wish they could find that magic again. I wish Disney would let it go. I wish somehow Lucas, through his magic, could reacquire his own studio and give it to someone with capable hands. I know none of these things can ever happen. So we are left with this, reanimated corpse of something that we once loved, and it's hard to look at it and not see the thing, but it's not there anymore. So what I can hope for is that the remainder of this series is at least as enjoyable as this episode was to watch, despite the flaws.
I doubt it.
Will it be? I doubt it very much. Maybe. I mean, we know some big things action-wise are coming. Some of it is pulled from the books, which they won't acknowledge. I don't know. I don't know where the Anakin thing goes. There's a lot of mystery box stuff going on here, which is not surprising because when Dave pitched the idea to Kathleen that he wanted to do something live action, she instructed him to go hang out with J.J. Abrams and Ruin Johnson, that round-headed simpleton and that con man. Yeah, and they are not. They're not friends of Star Wars by a long shot. One's a narcissist maniac, and the other one destroys everything he touches, like the opposite of the Midas touch. So here we are, though. Episode 4. I think the majority of us still agree it's the best of this series.
Mm-hmm.
That statement is what it is. There were moments that I thought, and I think all of us thought were good, and most of them involved Ray Stevenson.
Just listening to us for the last 2 hours, you were ripping the whole thing apart, and then we're like, yeah, but it was still the best one.
The best one.
Well, and that's saying something, and it's not surprising that this brand is dead. Star Wars is dead, and it's shown in everything from just declining viewership to the point that in this last fiscal year, Lucasfilm, either Lucasfilm in one way or another, has cost the Walt Disney Company $1 billion. It is a millstone.
Yeah, that's not subjective stuff. That's objective numbers. That's not you leading Josh.
I think he froze up.
He's so
Oh,
sad.
I didn't get a private
I
chat.
know
I got
that
nothing. He was just,
we sound angry,
just like
but
that,
please-
he's gone from our lives.
He froze up. I think his internet dropped or something.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
sorry, Josh. I'll say nice things about the episode.
since Josh has bailed on us, we let's go around the horn here and wrap it up. We will be back next week, folks, on Thursday at 5 Pacific Standard. We're talking about episode 5, and that is supposed to be. There's supposed to be some big things going on there. We'll see.
Well,
what
yeah,
happens.
because it's so amazing. It's so amazing.
It's not even like really a secret what's coming. Everybody knows what's coming. It's just, is it going to come next week? I think it probably is.
But it's so exciting. Check your local theaters to give Disney even more.
Oh, fuck. I forgot about that, Joker. I did. Oh, my God. They're putting that means that there's one thing that has to happen. If they're putting it in theaters, that thing is going to happen next week. And he's blue, and he has a name that rhymes with prawn. So on that note, Shieldwall, what do you have coming up, brother?
So next Tuesday, hanging out with Jacob Ironside on his channel, doing whatever. I think, maybe, and then next Thursday, doing the next episode with you guys. So look forward to that. And
Mando sailing the seas.
I'm gonna be sailing the high seas probably soon, drowning in some rum. Let's see. So tomorrow I will not actually be doing my normal Sea of Thieves stream. I did that yesterday because I'm going to be hanging out with an IRL friend Friday. Saturday. Do not miss out. We have got a great panel coming on for Literary Souls. It's going to be Elijah, so a Troubled Green, my friend Smile a While, and Miss Martin Muse. We're going to be talking about the last 2 books of the Chronicles of Narnia. It's going to be The Silver Chair and The Last Battle. It's going to be the last installment of the Summer of Narnia. Please don't miss out on it. It's going to be great. 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. And then also, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I've been trying to get that thing monetized now. I'm trying to crank out videos like...
Right
so,
on. Hey, Jana.
Hey, Jana.
And I will be wearing my Mr.
Jana.
Tumnus pants in honor of that stream.
He doesn't wear pants.
I never wear pants.
So, Beard of Liberty, your first time with the panel, and I'm really glad you were here.
Probably his last
so,
time.
what do you have coming up, buddy?
I mean, if y'all have me back, I'd love to join you next week.
Yes.
So
You saved me
I'll
the
be
green
doing
room
that.
question afterwards. Yes, come back to us. You one of us. One of us.
Josh just messaged saying his power went out. That's why he.
Oh shit! Okay.
Other than that, kind of big news is the guys over at After the Weekend, R2 the Icky and JT Gunn brought me on as a regular for their Saturday shows. So you can find me over there on the 16th, where, if I remember correctly, we'll be joined by the Mr. Joker voice for fan casting for the Thundercats.
Yes! Yes!
He's a little excited.
Best cartoon intro of all time.
All right, and Joker voice. What do you have coming up, buddy?
Tomorrow morning, I will be dropping my 299th video. We're talking about something I saw from Valiant Renegade, where Disney lies about the budgets for their films. As
yeah, they do.
As Infinity War and Endgame, their stated budgets combined was an outrageous $700 million. In actuality, $1.3 billion.
Whoa!
Ooh.
Wow, that's like my wife asking me how many action figures I have. How many do you have out there?
Just a few. Just a few. And then for my 300th installment on YouTube tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, over on Legion Talk for Friday night's Royal Rumble.
Right on, dude.
Very nice.
Yep.
Awesome.
Nice.
Thank you.
Jacob Ironside, master of the meme. What do you got coming up, buddy?
I don't have anything this Saturday, but Tuesday I will be doing Master and Commander.
Oh,
Great movie.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I love that movie so much. That is such a good movie. One of
And
the
then,
best seafaring films.
Roman likes that movie
Um,
so much because that's how well the ships were when he first came in the Navy.
That's true. I was actually on
Yeah.
board.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So,
Who are your
Magitech
guests?
Mags will be Magitech
Love Mags.
Shieldwall,
Love Mags.
and
Awesome.
Mags is awesome.
one
Love
other
her to
person. I
pieces.
can't remember who it was.
Wow.
It's somebody.
Also, the Galapagos
It's
turtles
somebody
are
good.
delicious. So if you ever get the chance to eat one, I highly
And
recommend
then I'll be back here next Thursday. And then that Saturday the 16th, I will be doing a discussion on Alfred Hitchcock.
it.
Nice.
Awesome. Cool. And Josh does a stream every Tuesday. So make sure our invisible brother, who is somehow absent because Hu Yang knocked out his power, like I said, he will be on next Tuesday because he has his Tuesday shows. I will be on with JT Gunn on Late Night with Cap next Monday.
Cool.
We're going on at
Nice.
6:30 Pacific Standard. So that's going to be he does a fun show. He does a segment show.
He's a lot of fun.
And if you haven't seen it, check them out. Late Night with Cap. They're just a hoot. It's a really nice format, and I'm looking forward to be on there. And then of course next Thursday we are back with this. So on that, I'm going to try not to cock this up on the exit, but I probably will.
Mother dick.
So until next time, please like and subscribe to the channels as we claw our way to 400 over here. And everybody else here, their data is in the description. Go subscribe to them as well. And remember, as always, be kind.
Toodles.